as we know that essay writing is most difficult task for CSS exam, and most of aspirants trapped in this complication. So as to I reveal some knowledge which I get from a efficacious book for preparation. These hints may help beginners to clear their concept about essay writing. General preparation. One of the chief difficult most of us feels is the lack of matter. We do not easily find anything to say about a subject. This is natural, because our experience and general reading are limited. But it may be remedied by reading, and by training the power of observation. Reading. In order to write an essay, the student must have something to write about, and so he must endeavor to store his mind with ideas by reading. Bacon says reading makes a full man, that is, a person who reads much and widely stores his mind with a large variety of facts, thoughts, illustrations and general information. If you want to write good essays, you must acquire love to reading. Not simply reading stories for amusement, but reading good books of history, travel, biography and science. Fill your mind with fine thoughts and accurate information. By doing so you will become a full man, and a full man can always find plenty to say on most subjects. Observation. Observation contributes a lot in our day-to-day knowledge. All knowledge does not come from books. We may learn much from the life around us. What we see and hear, observe for ourselves. Keep eyes and ears open, and learn from your own experience. Practical writing short descriptions of what you see in building, street scenes, trees and flowers, hills and valleys, the habit of animals and birds. Don't be content with reading other people's description of such things, but seize them for yourself. It is surprising what a lot may be learned from personal observation. Conversation. Books are written by men and women, and if we can learn from the books they write, we can learn also from the words they say. Listen to the people's conversation, get them to talk to you about the things they know, and discuss subjects that interest you with your friends. In this way, also, you may learn much. A writer reads, observes and gets people to talk, and in these ways he is always enriching his mind with ideas and knowledge. We can take the example of journalists. They exercise lots of things for accumulating information to complete their theme of writing. As like them, we also have to persist for gather copious knowledge for writing by discriminated ways. Defining the subject. It is very important that you should have a clear and accurate conception of the subject of the essay before you attempt to write on it. What exactly it is, and, equally important, what it is not. Some subjects are so simple that you can scarcely make a mistake about them. For example, the influence of railway traveling on Pakistani social life. Neither the subject is railway, neither traveling, nor it is the railway system of Pakistan, still less the invention of the locomotive engine, and the history of railways. Yet some students, carelessly reading the subject, might easily take up a large part of their essay with such topics. You must come to the point at once and start away with the real subjects, which in this case is the different ways in which the habit of traveling by train is changing the social customs of the people of Pakistan. It is therefore very necessary that you should define the subject clearly in your own mind, or you may waste much time and paper in writing on more or less irrelevant matters. Collecting material. When you have got a clear idea of your subject, the next step will be to think of that what can you say about it. Some subjects are so simple that a little reflection should supply you with sufficient material for a short essay, but, for others, special information will be needed, for which you may have to do some special reading. If you have to write about some historical subjects and extra knowledge-seeking subject, you have to get hold of some books and subject up. But in any case, do not attempt to write the essay before you have given some time to thinking over what can say on the subject. The common habit of beginning to write down the first thing that comes into one's head, without knowing what is to come next, is fatal to good essay writing. As you think over the subject, ideas, facts and illustrations will pass through your mind. But if you don't catch them as they come, you may forget them just when you want them. So as you catch birds and put them in a cage, mean to say pick the idea and paste it on the piece of paper, catch and cage these fleeting thoughts by jotting them down on a piece of paper just as they come into your mind, without troubling yourself at this stage about their order or suitability. You can examine the birds thus caught at your leisure later. When you think you have collated enough material of your essay, or you can't think of any more points, read over the notes you have jotted down to select points most suitable for your purpose. Pick and choose more important and more efficacious point for your essay. You may find what they're worth. You may find that some are mere repetitions of others and others may be simply illustrations to be thought under main heads. This process of selection will probably suggest to you in a general way the line of thought you may follow in the essay. Logical arrangement. Now should be ready to decide on the line of thought of the essay, that is, the logical order in which you can arrange the points you have selected. The necessity of thus arranging your thoughts according to some ordinary plan can't be too strongly insisted upon. Without it, the essay will probably be badly arranged, rambling, disproportioned and full of repetitions and irrelevancies. Making the outline. Bearing your subject definitely in your mind and with your purpose clearly before you, sketch out a bare outline of the main heads, under which you will arrange your various materials in a natural, logical and convincing order from a brief introduction till an effective conclusion. Falling in the outline. Having thus mapped out the main points with which you are going to deal, arrange the ideas you have collected each under its proper main head, rejecting all those not really relevant to your subject, to which simply repeat other thoughts, and taking that each really belongs to the division in which you place it. You will now have a full outline, which is to be a guide to you in writing the essay. But this is not the essay, but only its well-articulated skeleton. You must now clothe the skeleton with flesh, and most difficult of all, breathe into it the breath of life, before you all your production and essay,